Ladies and gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, mateys, welcome aboard. This is Medioker Poker with Amanda Bonanza. We got in a hand here. We got in a table right away with this player, seat 5. They're beating us. They have so far on the first hand, they slow played the king high flush. And other than that, they've just had a couple better hands than us. We're not doing badly, but a little behind. I'm not worried about it. We're heads up, so we're gonna be hyper aggressive here. We're gonna be basically any remotely decent hand. We're gonna be betting and raising, and like this, for example, this is a monster hand that I would be 3-betting in any situation. But like so far, they've shown a little bit of wreck tendencies in the sense that they're not doing that. This isn't quite good enough. That 3 is no good. Low pairs are bad. Low cards are bad. This is fine. A suited ace is plenty good enough to raise with. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're just kind of building up back, and we're gonna build back better. That's what we're gonna do. That wouldn't work great. This is good enough. It's all relatively close together. It's not a great hand, but like it's good enough to win that pot. So seed 5 is demonstrating. So either they're running really shabby, they're getting really bad hands, or they're playing excessively tight for heads up. It could be one or the other. We're not going to assume either, but we're going to think about it. It looks like seat 6 is getting in here now. 10-9-3-6 is bad. We don't like that. And okay, so the table's filling up. We are now 4-handed, which is my favorite amount of hands to play. I like 4-handed the best. I like playing a short stack because your stew can be aggressive, but like you're not just getting sucked out by all the, like when you've got a full ring of 6, or even worse, a full ring of like 9 or 10. Which of 9, I think 9 is the absolute max you can have. Like 6 rings, if everyone gets 4 cards, that means 24 cards are out. Half the deck is out when you're playing 6 ring. And so with 9, it's 36 of the cards. And so it's like 30, most of the deck is out on the table. So at that point, like you really can't do anything unless you've got a monster hand. So you have to play super, super tight. Oh, hey, Alexis. It is Alexis, right? Maybe not. I forget what your real name is, Transcendental Artist Studios. But happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. Yeah, I was just going over kind of like the ideas of like how your strategy has to change with the number of the players at the table. And I've got a headache. I have had a nagging headache since the fire started like 3 weeks ago, and like it's just been there, and it's there again today. I haven't been drinking. I don't know what it is. I must just be thirsty. Like I'm dehydrated. So I'll just drink some water there. It does feel better to drink water. I'm not gonna raise this pair of queens because of the 2 and the 3, and queens aren't as good as you would think. But that's a good flop for me because I have the queen blockers. So even if someone's got the low end of this straight, I block the high end, and so I can definitely bluff. So I'm gonna raise this. I'm gonna raise this pot. We're gonna be aggressive with raising. And that could easily be a flush draw there. It could easily be 2 pair. It could be the low end of the straight. That's also good for us because of these queen blockers. So I'm definitely betting pot. And they're going to call, and their flush came. So I can't bet this anymore because now I think they probably caught their flush. So I'm going to let that go, and they're going to bet, and I have to fold, and it sucks. If that was anything but a heart, I would have triple barreled this. But I can't do anything with that. Pair of queens can't. Yep, see? King high flush. See that? Can't do anything with that. There's our, yeah. They had a 10 and a 9, so they had 2 pair with a flush draw. So they were right to call. They played that well, but that's how that goes. That's poker, folks. This hand is the small blind, and it's not good enough to call the small blind. That if the ace was suited, I would maybe consider it, but I can't stress enough how bad low cards are. Bring that back. Not too much blood in my alcohol system. It's just I haven't been drinking. I had a couple drinks a few nights ago. Like I had like 2 screwdrivers like 3 or 4 days ago, and then like I had a little whiskey earlier in the week. Like on Monday, I drank a little bit of wine, not an excessive amount, on my birthday on Monday. And so I drank 3 times this week, but like none of them were even remotely excessive. And the last time I drank was a couple days ago. And so it's like I don't understand where this headache, but the headache's been there the whole time. And so like I don't even usually drink 3 times a week. Here we go. We'll fold that. And I do appreciate the joke. It's a good joke. So we took a couple beats here and we're down, but that ain't gonna stop us. We're still gonna keep going. We're still gonna push. We're gonna watch. I marked seat 5 with a shark because on the very first hand they slow played the king high flush. They flopped the king high flush and they checked it down. They check called all the way to the river. They never raised it. And so I mean there's a part of me that wants to be like that, or I could give them a mouse, because like the fact that they never raised was it's just bad poker. I mean, they did win the hand, but they could have, like, it's like I guess I don't think they could have gotten much more out of me, because if they had raised me, I probably would have folded. So in a way, it's good poker. They did extract the max value from me, but like them not raising me on the river was silly. Like I bet the max pot. Maybe they thought I had the ace because I was betting, and so like I mean I still don't agree. Yeah, like if you're gonna be scared of monsters under the bed, like sometimes someone's gonna beat you. Sometimes someone's gonna have you're gonna have the king high flush and someone's gonna have the ace high flush, and that's gonna happen. But like honestly, like even at that point, they should have at least like they could have raised me and not done like a max bet. They could have raised me a small amount and I would have folded the fuck out of there. And if I had had like a slower flush, I would have called, and then they would have made even more money. So like they didn't do like play super super bad, but they could have played better, and they definitely left chips on the table, not necessarily in that hand, but by not betting, like that's leaving chips on the table in general, because you are going to get called with worse hands sometimes, and that's the real money maker. Is like it's like you if you're not gonna you got to risk it to get the biscuit, is the one. You got to risk it to listen to Limp Biscuit, is what you got to do. You got to enjoy the Limp Biscuit. That's what it's all about. Trying to figure out this. That thing keeps changing size, and I have to keep reformatting it. I don't know why. Um, this isn't a good hand, but it is good enough to call, and it is good enough to defend. I've got a backdoor equity with my spades. I have a 9. Oh, I have 9s and kings. Oh, this is a fine hand to bet. I'm out of position, so I called, so I'm gonna check, and so I'm definitely gonna bet now. I'm gonna bet the pot. Yeah, we're just gonna push this all the way. I've got kings and 5s, and I've got the king high flush draw, and I've got a 9 blocker. So like I've pretty much got this. Yeah, I've got kings and 9s. Yeah, I had every piece of that. So those are the kind of hand. This is what I'm talking about, going aggressive. Like if you have equity like that, just and that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna shove. We're just going to shove our equity. Well, thank you, Alexis. It's okay. I don't really care about that. Like, if you want to be honest, I grew up Jehovah's Witness and I never got birthdays or Christmas or Halloween or any of that stuff. And so I literally just am completely desensitized to all of it. I just don't care at all. We'll check that. We'll take this free roll here. That's absolutely nothing. We have nothing and the board is nothing. We are going to check and, well, now we do have a straight draw, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now we can bet that. So we're going to bet the pot. And we hit our straight. And the flush came, but we're still going to bet it. And they also had a straight. So great. And it looks like it's heads up here. So, yeah, that's the 2 sucks. It's a shitty hand, but it's heads up. And we hit an 8. We don't have much equity, so we're going to check that back. We do have a straight draw now, so we're going to bet it. Pot it. Yeah, I mean, when the pot's this small, we basically, our goal here is to try and get, when we hit our straight, we're going to try and get as much money in the pot every hand as possible. We want to be, we're putting on max pressure. We want to try and go all in with all of our winning hands. So big bets, big bets, big bets. Max pressure. This is a great hand. We're going to raise it. It's not a great hand, but it's a good, strong enough hand to 3-bet heads up. You're going to re-raise us, which they thought about it, and it's not a big re-raise. So that tells me they're a good player, because that's the exact right amount to re-raise to a 4-bet. However, that almost certainly means ace-ace. Now, the thing about that is this is the exact kind of hand that cracks ace-ace. However, it's not quite good enough. This dangling 2 sucks, so we're going to let that go. And now we've got a third player in there. We're going to respect that bet. And we're back to 4-handed, which is great. This hand's terrible, so we'll be folding that. I wish I could have seen what they had. I mean, it's almost the problem with what I had is I didn't have high suited cards and they had aces. And I'm assuming that, but I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone at these stakes 4-bet without aces. Like, I really don't think I've ever seen it. And so it's almost always ace-ace. Now it's a matter of whether they had ace-ace double suited, and they could have had my suit. They probably didn't. But like, there's a part of me that wishes I would have called that just to see if my suit came. Like, but the problem is then they're gonna keep barreling. If you 4-bet, then you're just gonna keep shoving pot. So if I hit 2 of my suit, they would have just put max pressure on me, and I would have had to either chase a flush or just give up, and I would have lost more chips. But basically, double suited rundowns are the hands that you want to play against aces. So, oh, that would have been nice. That would have been a nice straight draw there. But yeah, that wasn't the double suited rundown because it had the dangling 3. Now the 3 was suited, but it was suited like the 10. So it wasn't a good suit, but I mean, it doesn't matter when your head's up, really. Like, it's less scary. Like, low flushes are way more valuable when there's less people in the pot. That's a bad hand. We're going to fold that. We're 5 ways now, so we have to definitely tighten up our opening ranges. So we're not 6-handed yet, so we're not like full ring, but we're close to it, which means we have to like basically play positions. So like, we can still be pretty loose in the button and the cutoff here. Not this loose, but we can't be that loose in the hijack, which is under the gun now. So we still have to be, we have to be pretty tight under the gun. And we'll defend wide on the big blind, and we'll defend very, very tight. We're gonna play the small blind very, very tight. Like, we need a monster in the small blind to even consider playing. I watched a video, a tutorial video by this guy named I forget, it's Alex something or other. He's like he's kind of a shitty dude, but he's really good at poker. But he's kind of like a shitty libertarian dipshit. But he said something really good, really thoughtful about poker, and it was that if you just folded every small blind hand, he never played the small blind ever, and your total win rate at that was like negative, was essentially like losing that half a blind out of every, like losing just a half of a blind loss, total loss rate in that position. It would probably be better than anyone else who plays poker, period, because everyone that plays that position, it's just a losing position. I've had an M&M. This hand is not quite good enough. It's a suited 10. If that queen was suited, I would play it, but it's like I said, we're in the hijack here. It's just not good enough. I'm going to fold it. And 10s aren't a good pair. Jacks are right on the edge of like even playable. This is a hand I would play on the button, maybe even in the cutoff. But I can't play it in hijack. Definitely would play that on the button 5-handed. Actually, on any handed. There's a part of me that wants to top off here. I think I'm going to. Let's just top off. I don't like being short stacked, especially if I'm playing aggressive. I want to win the max. So seeing not a lot of action here, a lot of not much going on wet boards, which is kind of sad. Seeing a lot of weakness at this table. That's going to bode well for our hyper-aggressive strategy that we're playing. There are 3 big blinds in this pot. That is so shitty. Shame on table 6. Doesn't position bet at all. They're a coward. They won the pot. I didn't even see what they had. They get the mouse. This was a defensible hand. Double suited. It's not a good double suit, but we're on the big blind. We get that discount. We're going to see this flop. Not to a 3-bet, but definitely to a min click. Min clicking? Fuck seat 6. They're a clown. We're gonna tear them apart. And we have a pair of 4s. We do have a gut shot straight draw and a backdoor flush draw, but neither of them are exceptional, and we're out of position. So we're not going to bluff out of position. Oh, everyone just checked all the way down. We're going to check this. If this goes auto check like that, we're going to bet pot on the river, no matter what. Here we go. 6 has something. And the fact that they bet after checking down before, they have a flush. They're gonna bet again. Probably nope. They don't have a flush. So they did position bet. Seems timid. Maybe they just had hot trash that last hand. Probably. That's more likely. They're still seeming timid. We're going to keep the mouse there, but I'm just going to go quite as hard on them. We're not playing this in the small one. I want to look at that hand history here. I know it's super hard for you to see down here, down in that corner, but it won't show you at showdown if a player mucks their worst hand. It won't show you on the big screen here, but yeah, but it will. If you look at the hand history, it will show you what they had if it got shown down. And so that player, seat 6. Oh, they had the nut flush. Someone else must have had a full house. Yeah, that's what happened. So they did have the nut flush, and they still bet it weak as shit. So yeah, they are weak. Yeah, they're totally a coward. They 3-bet me. So when a nit like that 3-bets, you get the fuck out. That means they've got aces. They've got a monster. And so that's what we know. It's like they 3-bet the player that was checking down and barely bet their nut flush. Yeah. And they did get beat by the aces full of 6s full house. That's what happened there. I was wrong. I thought it was a flush that beat him. Because I saw their 2 hearts. But yeah. Seat 3 played that hand pretty well. Oh, I gotta quit eating these M&Ms. I had pizza for lunch. Just frozen pizza, nothing fancy. And then I brought the M&Ms in here, and I had some peanut M&Ms, and I had like 2 handfuls, three handfuls. I'm full and fat. Proud to be a curvy girl in this world. There you go. Look at those tits. Enjoy them. I do. I'm not seeing anything here. All I'm seeing at this table is weakness. Weakness, weakness, weakness. No one's got anything. Everyone's just auto-checking. Ugh. All right. Any hand, any reasonable equity, we're just shoving. We're just shoving reasonable equity. And when we get pushed back, we're going to be careful. But, like, we have to have a hand, though. Because we are seeing betting. Just it's real timid. Like, everyone's real scared of scare cards. Everyone's afraid of monsters. Everyone's afraid of the nuts. Even when it's obvious that no one has them. So we're going to take advantage of that by pretending like we have them every hand. There you go. Oh, you finally mustered up the courage to bet 2.5 big blinds. How good of you. And that was enough for this person to just get out of here, which is fair, you know. They don't have nothing. I mean, I wouldn't have folded my 9 to that. But, like, you know, what are you going to do? That person did. They probably didn't have a 9 or a 10. And if they got no equity, then it's, I would fold to a small bet without any equity too. So I'm not going to blame them. They're also short stacked, but they did that to themselves. They bought in short, which is, I don't understand why players do that either. But here we are. This hand is not even good enough to defend. This hand is absolutely terrible. This is just one of as bad. I mean, I've actually seen worse hands. 2-3-7 Jack is pretty fucking even. Honestly, fuck it. One big blind. Like, these players are so weak. Let's call and let's see what we got. We hit a 3. We have a 3 and we do have a flush draw here. Or not a flush draw. We have a straight draw. We have a wheel draw. Now we have 2 pair. We're going to bet our 2 pair. Our Jack 3 is going to intimidate these losers, I think. Maybe not. We're out of position still, but like, we do have that flush. We do have that draw. They will call hearts. They will call hearts. And that's okay. Because if the heart doesn't come, we do another pot size bet and we take their money. That's cool, Alexis. There's 2 Alexises. Both of you are Alexis. I love it. They're going to call because they've got diamonds or hearts, which is understandable. But I've got a full house draw. And their flush came. So I'm out. There's the flush. I mean, they had so much equity in that hand. They had that hand. They owned that board and they just called. Oh no, you're a weak. You're not a strong player. You slow played your flush because you're afraid, not because of anything else. So we're still gonna be aggressive, but we're gonna have to be a little more calculated. We're gonna be less aggressive out of position. That was aggressive out of position, and I shouldn't have done it. I was just disgusted by their weakness. But it's time to get smarter. This hand's not quite good enough to play on the small blind, especially to a raise from a net, from a short stack. If a short stack brings in that much, like, they're going all in. So they're going all in this hand, kind of no matter what. They're going to go all in. They have to. Watch them just call, be ridiculous. You brought in an early position. You have to have a hand. You fool. What are you thinking about? This isn't a thing that you should be thinking about, seat 1. Oh, they gave up. They thought they could buy it. You're both of them. Okay, Alexis, you're every Alexis. You're every woman, just like Whitney. You and Whitney Houston are every woman. Got it. Ugh. I got a piece of pizza crust fell down my shirt. It's in my dress and it bothers me. I'm itching it. I'm getting rid of it. Okay, I didn't really. Lilith and I didn't talk about this during being trans, but one of the things that no one told me that took me by surprise that I'm starting to learn is it is that I've been learning this whole time. I'm better at it. Oh wait, here's a hand. All right, bringing this one in. Remind me to remember this story. It's about eating. Remind me to tell my eating story once this hand's over here. Once once I'm not in a hand. Let's see. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fold. Good, good. We're in position now. Super. We hit our ace. We hit our 2. We have 2 pair. We're good. We're not afraid of 3-4. We're aware of spades, but we're heads up. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll 2/3 pot that. We'll probably just fold. Maybe not. We want them to have spades, and we want spades to not come. Chase spades, and then don't get them. That's what we want from you. It's also acceptable. I'll just win the pot. So let's see what goes on here. Early position. Close enough, close, but that four, and in the hijack. Oh, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Those kind of hands that get you in trouble if you play them. So when you grow up as a boy, no one teaches you anything how to be a girl, and you just gotta figure it out once you transition. Um, One of the things that really caught me off guard was when I first started having legitimate tits, like eating, like food falls down your shirt because your boobs push out your shirt. And like I spent a lifetime sitting back eating potato chips and eating like this, and you can't do that. You have to eat sitting up straight. And I still do it, and I get crumbs and shit down my chest and down my shirt. And that's what happened as I was eating pizza, and now I'm just like going in there. I was like, I've got an uncomfortableness from crumbs in my shirt. Oh, I can only imagine how sexy this is to a viewer. Okay. This is a really bad hand, but it's close enough, and there we go. We did hit a flush, but we're out of position, and it's a really bad flush. We are gonna check it. We're just gonna see what everyone does, because I suspect someone's gonna bet this, but we might have the only flush. We're going to raise if anyone bets, but we're going to raise small. And so we're just going to see, because if someone bets and they don't have a flush and we raise, they will fold to us. But if they do have a flush, we have one of the worst flushes. So if we raise and they do have a flush, they're either going to call or re-raise. Oh, that's exactly what we didn't want to see. But no one was betting the king. And no one was bet, but there's such weaklings. They could easily have a full house here. Now we have to check this down. We can't bet this anymore. Hi, Charlotte. Welcome back. Yeah, and everyone's checking it. So here you go. I'm gonna bet the half pot. I'm gonna bet one. Yeah, I'm gonna bet 1/3 pot. And so I'm gonna bet five. I'm gonna bet 5 big blinds, and I'm gonna see if anyone calls. And I don't think anyone has a full house, and I don't think anyone has a flush, because someone would have bet this. And if this person, seat 1 in position, has it, yeah, the only person that could get away with this is seat 3 because they're out of position, but they shouldn't have a better flush. They should have been betting, especially after it checked around on the flop. See, there you go. That's why. So we win to a small bet. What a weak table. What a weak, because that's an obvious position bet from late position. From the button, this player and this player, they should have been throwing money at that pot after it checked around twice. Just very weak table here. So, like I said, in position with equity, shove, shove, shove. Out of position, we have to be careful still, because they're so nitty that they will check their good hands. Like usually you can judge it when you're playing against reasonably decent players. Like, they'll bet their good hands, because the most obvious thing in the world is, if you have a good hand, you want there to be more money in the pot, so you bet your good hands, and you don't put money in the pot with your bad hands. Is this good enough? Yes, it is. It's not. This is a bad hand. I should fold this. But these players are weak, and I'm in position. I'm essentially like, I have to see an atrocious hand in position, and we now have this. So we're gonna bet small here. We're gonna bet half pot, because it's a paired board, and that it wouldn't matter what I had. I'm going to bet a paired board every time, and they're going to fold it because they're afraid of that paired board, because, oh, I could have a full house with 5-2. I mean, And ace, not to a raise, not to a raise. If I got, when nits raise, I get out. You had to sing what? What did you have to sing, Alexis? Saving it for later. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, you're singing. Thank you, you're sweet. Look at what I had for. Oh, I had a set. Ooh, that's a good hand. That's good enough to bring in with out of position, so. We're going to get folds anyway. Super. Now we're in position, so now we want at least, we want one caller here. And we want the big blind to call. Please call seat 3. They will. They're going to raise. We have a hand that we can't get rid of, but we're not going to 4-bet. So there's a real good chance that seat 3 has kings or aces. That's okay. We've got good double suited hand here. We're going to play it. 7, 8, 10, 5, 6. So a 6 and a 9. They've got aces. Seat 3 has aces. We do have a backdoor. We have a backdoor flush draw, and we have a double gut shot with the straight. So we're calling. And we hit. Oh, no, we didn't hit our straight. Shit. They're all in, but we have a lot of equity here. We have our flush draw, and we have to call. Yeah, they've got aces. And we hit our straight. And that's how you fucking play poker. Because we had the equity, and we knew what they had. All right. So I now do have a good enough hand to bet. Suited ace and the wheel. That's not great. So we're going to check it. We didn't hit our suit. We don't have any equity in this hand. We have a backdoor straight draw, but yeah, not to that. We don't have enough equity in this hand to call it. It's just outside of our range, so we're going to let that go. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Not good. Not good enough for anything. Not in the small blind, not multi-way. And we got a new player that brings in for the min. So I've discussed this before. When you're playing poker, there's a minimum buy-in and a maximum buy-in at a table when you're playing online poker. And if you're not buying in for the max, you're making a mistake. And the reason for that is if you're any sort of decent poker player and you're actually playing to win, and you want to win, and you think you can win, you want to have as many chips on the table as possible. That way you can get them in, and then people can call you, and you can win the maximum amount of chips per hand. When you come in short stack like this, like seat 3 here, they only have 30 big blinds, which means the max, if they stack off with one other player, they can only double that to 60 big blinds. If I stack off with another player, I can get 120 big blinds or 97 big blinds. We now have aces in position, and we're going to bet them. These are bad aces. These are as bad as aces gets. Well, now if we had a 6 and like a 2 and a 9 would be worse than that, but rainbow, no suit, and 2 pairs. These are pretty bad. This is bottom of the barrel, and we've got a bet in front of us here. So because we have aces, we have to call this, but we're wary. They almost certainly have a king, which that could be enough. That could be all they have, which is why we're going to call it. But they could easily have king 10, and they could easily have that with spades. And so we got another spade, so we're going to see what they do. This is a duck, meaning it's a brick, that it's a nothing card, but it did bring the clubs. And they're betting half pot. Here's the thing. we can't chase this, and here's why. Is because they clearly have something. They bet out of position, and they probably have us beat with two pair, king 7 or king 10. Or they have clubs or spades or possibly even both. They also could have a straight draw with a king. We can't call it because we have to hope that they don't hit either a club, either a thing, and they don't have a two pair, and we just don't have the equity. And they don't have the chips to justify making a call because they're almost all in. That's a weak ass bet, seeming they could have gone all in. They didn't, but we'll just have to fold this hand. So we're going to let it go. And we're going to let their two pair win. I think they had two pair. They could have. I don't know why they didn't push all in. Like, what were they waiting for? Because if I had raised them, they would have called. I guarantee you that. And they were going to go all in on the river. No, it can't be 7 a.m., isn't it? It's got to be later in the day, right? Oh, yawn. Yawn. Nope. Oh, I stopped talking for a little bit there. I was looking at the chats and then I started thinking about time zones. And what I started thinking about was if Lilith's in Costa Rica and wherever I end up going, I don't know where that's going to be yet. And if Emily almost certainly is going to stay in Australia, and she's got to come back here and sell her house. But I mean, Charlotte, she's marrying you. She's going to live in Australia with you. And so that's going on. And so I have to figure out what I'm going to do. And depending on where I land, uh, yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Oh shit, there was a 3-bet. Fuck. See, I didn't pay attention, and now I'm fucking in a hand I really have no business being in because I'm destroyed. I'm so dominated here. So I punted. I punted 10.4 big blinds. I punted 9.4 big blinds. Shame on me. I can't call anything. I'm out of here. I shouldn't. I had no business in that hand. I thought I was calling a. See, me not paying attention. I'm thinking time zones. And so I was thinking like time zones, like, and with Emily being in Australia, Lilith being in Costa Rica, and me, and so Costa Rica is on Central Time. Australia's on Australia time. I don't know what y'all call it over there. And wherever I end up, which it's looking like where I'm probably, Mexico's an option. Uruguay's looking good. Costa Rica's a possibility just because Lilith's there. I'll be honest with you, all my Aussie folks, hey, give me a pathway in. Like, find me a way to get there because I'd love to live in Australia. And I think I'd do well there. So let me make it official. Charlotte, I'm going to tell you this, you won't be. Not like you're not going to want to. This country is going to get worse and worse and worse, and it is going to become Nazi Germany eventually. And so it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at this point. So really, as trans women, you really just shouldn't have anything to do with the United States until that gets fixed. And I don't see that getting fixed in our lifetime, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the United States is on a very fast descent into basically essentially being a fascist like authoritarian pit of disease and economic ruin. Like it's just going to get real bad here, and it's not going to get better, and it's going to be a bad place to live, a bad place to be for anyone, but especially for transgender people. So like, I don't think you and Emily will be visiting very often. In fact, I would say, like what I am saying is officially, like, help me get over there. I need some place to go. I am stuck here in the United States and I don't want to be here anymore. And I need a way to make income. That's all I need. I'm willing to go anywhere. I just need to be able to make some money and be self-sustainable. And that's what I'm working on, but I'm not very good at it. I've never been good at money. I can't play this bad hand, even though it is a suited king. I'm going to be a little tight. But yeah, Charlotte, Alexis, I know you're in Texas. I don't think you're staying there. If I'm right, your plan is to move to Australia. Charlotte, you're in Australia. I know there's a couple other people in the chat, in maybe not in this one, but in Being Trans. I think there's a couple people that are from Australia as well. I think there's a handful of regular viewers that are Aussies. So get me over there. Do what it is. Talk to people. Tell me what I need to do. Help me out. I'm asking officially. Help me, please. Get me out of the United States. I don't want to be here anymore. It's terrible. All right, back to the shit. Enough politics, right? It's gross. It's gross and it's dumb. It's not fun. Oh, it's the last of my water, mate. There we go. That's a definitely playable hand. Let's bring this one in. Suited ace with a pair of sevens and double suited. Double suited, single ace. The 10 sevens aren't great. It's not the best hand, but it is definitely good enough to bring in, and it's definitely good enough against these type players. I mean, we pretty much own this board, so we're gonna check this one out of position because we don't care what comes. Nothing can come that can hurt us, really. They love it. They're all in, so let's do it. Let's play for stacks. They folded. Thanks, mate. They raised and they folded to my raise. This is also a hand we're definitely raising, or we're gonna play it. No, I don't know. I think we're gonna call this one because we're in the big blind. It's not quite enough good to raise, but we're definitely playing this hand. That is a snug fold seat 6 made. Very snug fold. I mean, they were right to do it. We're gonna. Now I want more money in this pot. Let's play. I want this person's chips. I want them to go all in. I'm willing to go heads up with 12 big blinds with these queens. Yeah. I'm just gonna put. There you go. Give me all your chips. Thank you. All right. Now we're playing poker. Where's OZ, Charlotte? Not on the small blind. This is on the edge once again, especially with these nits. But like, it's still the two. The two sucks. That two sucks shit. Yeah, I heard, Charlotte, I heard about some recent bullshit in fucking Australia where some dipshit governor of some fucking state was like, we're canceling all fucking like transgender care or something like that. Like I heard a rumor. It's so fucking hard to tell what's real and what's not here in the US. Our shit is so filtered and so we just get fed bullshit here in this country. So it's like it's hard for me to know what's actually going on. But I did hear a rumor of that happening and it was like, "Oh, really? Australia too?" So let me know if I'm right about that or not. Oh, God, this headache. This, like, I feel hungover and I haven't drank for 3 days, 2 days. 2 days. I didn't drink yesterday or the day before. Not counting. I didn't drink today yet either. I don't know if I will. I don't know. It's like I've got really good sleep. I haven't been drinking enough water. I haven't been drinking enough water. It's true. I need to drink more water. I'm just dehydrated. That's got to be it, right? Yeah, my head, my eyes feel heavy. My eyes feel, well, maybe I'm coming down with a sickness. It's been going around. It's winter. I work with kids. I don't feel sick though. I just have kind of a stuffy head. I feel hungover, and I'm not hungover, and it sucks. It's not a good feeling. All right. Oh, yeah, I can defend this. I have not a lot of equity here, so I'm gonna check it. I don't think I'm gonna push this one out of position. Well, now I have a 10 though, and they sure checked quickly. So I'm not gonna bet it, but I'm gonna call it if they decide to bet. They don't. I now have queens and tens. I almost certainly have the best hand here. I'm gonna put in the pot, and they're gonna fold. This is a hand I am gonna bet out of position. We're three-way now, so like I can loosen up in the button and the big blind, not necessarily the small blind. I do have a backdoor straight draw with a wheel. I've got a bad pair of twos. That's terrible. The 8 does nothing for me, but it does give me a backdoor gut shot. I do have overcards, but I'm out of position. So I'm checking, but we're going to see. I'm probably going to call any bet that's not a pot size bet. And of course, this makes my wheel draw better. So now I am going to bet this. So I am going to go ahead and bet this. I'm going to bet half pot. I'm going to see what anyone does. Probably shouldn't be betting out of position, but see, they're such weak players. Yeah, we'll play this. We'll play this in position. Jabe says, hey. I'm going to send. Jabe texted me. My friend Jabe, he's the best ever. I'm going to send him back. I'm going to raise that. Hey, we got 3-bet. Gotta get the fuck out of there. All right. Pair of kings. Bet. 3-bet. 4-bet. I don't think we can call. Maybe we can though. They didn't. We're really afraid of that ace. We don't like that ace one bit. They almost certainly have an ace since they 3-bet. We have kings. So we have to be real careful here, and we're out of position. So we're betting, and we are going to call one time. But if they bet big, like, and they checked it, but it doesn't fucking mean anything with these fuckers. So I'm hesitant to give them a free card. I really think they have an ace. So I'm going to check it again. I'm just going to check it down and hope I can just win. They should have bet with an ace. They should have bet with an ace. But I just don't trust them. So I'm going to check it down, and I'm going to hopefully I can just win with the kings. And they have queen 9. And they didn't bet it. And they didn't bet it. Why? See? So I should have bet with those kings. But they didn't bet queen 9. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand these fucking players. Such bad poker. It's all right. We're up. We're gonna get their money. It's just a matter of time. We're gonna bet this. We got suited ace. I mean, we're out of position. We're in the small blind, but honestly, these players are so fucking weak. And we did hit 2 pair, which isn't great, but it's low cards, which means they shouldn't have them. But like I said, we never know. We don't have spades, so we can't bet it out of position. So we're just going to have to check this down, hope our 3 holds, but it's not going to hold. It already isn't going to hold. We don't have any equity here. We got to let that go. Got to let it go with no equity at all, of course. A 9's good. They did bet their 9, so at least 6 has a smidge of a backbone. But this player does not, and I haven't seen anything from them either. Ace king with a suited ace on the button. Yeah, I'll bet that. I'll bring that in. And they have chips, so they're playing tight, but they're not playing bad. They're just playing over tight. And that's not good for us. So we're just going to check it down. We have our high cards. I'm going to bet the flush. I'm going to bet half pot here, see if anyone calls. And I think if someone calls, probably they're both going to fold. I don't think either of them have hearts. They have hearts. Look at that. Okay, let's put on some Hollywood and make them think about it. Make them be like, should we call? There's no way we're calling. They clearly have a flush, probably a high flush. But we're not going to call. We're going to hit that wait button, and we're just going to make them think about it. We're going to make you think about what you've done. Oh, did your big bet? Like, maybe they're bluffing me, and if that's the case, great fucking bluff. But mine was a bluff. So I think the mistake that we made was we bet half pot and not a third pot. That was a mistake that I made. I bet too much. Oh, we're going to bet this one too. We're definitely betting this hand. We're going to call. I'm watching seat 1 now. That was a play. So we do have a very good straight draw and a backdoor nut flush draw. So we're going to bet. We're going to keep betting. We're going to bet. We're going to bet big. We're going to bet on the big side because it's a mildly wet board. This is a very coordinated board. Right now it's dry, but a lot can come. So there's a lot of cards that could make this into a dangerous board for us. So we're going to bet big. I'm thinking maybe even full pot, depending on what this player does. But we have equity here. We have enough equity to bet for sure. We have enough equity to raise. So if they do bet, we're still going to raise them. They're not, but they thought about it too long, so I'm not going to bet full pot. I'm going to bet 2/3. They raised again. What could they have? Here's the thing: is that could be bullshit, but they don't have enough chips to back it up. And so if I call this, I need to hit my thing, and I don't have enough equity to call a check raise. And so, but now I'm suspect. But they could have trip 8s, they could have trip 5s, they could have trip jacks, which is the only thing I put them on, if they have anything at all. And I don't think they're check raise bluffing me. I just don't. I think they just hit 2 hands in a row. So I'm going to let them have it, and we're going to get them. We're going to get them another time. I'm going to fold that, though. Check raise, flop 2 on the row. Give them a little fireball. See if they check raise this player. No, see, it's just me. So they just hit hands. They aren't just willy-nilly check raising. They just hit hands. And that happens. Sometimes you hit 2 monsters on the row. That is a thing. And I think that's what happened. I think they just ran a little hot, and Wait. What did they call with? What did they play? That looked like hot garbage. This is a bad hand. We can't. Well, yeah, I can't even really justify defending this. Depends what happens. We're gonna watch. We'll see. I'm not gonna fold out of turn though. Let's see. Seat one had king queen suited with a 7 and a 6. They had a queen, so it wasn't unreasonable for them to call, but they didn't have much. No, I can't. I don't want to. His hands is not good enough. Yeah, happy to be not in this one. There's a bet. There's a pot-sized bet out of position, but from the pre-flop raiser. So very easily could have hit ace queen there. It's like, hey, I'm betting it. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a great hand. We're going to be betting it no matter what. We don't love that 6, but it is suited to the ace, so it's okay. We're going to 3-bet that. We don't want them in the hand. We want to go heads up with seat 2 here. If they go all in, we're calling. Maybe. If they 4-bet us, we're going to think about it. And they're thinking about 4-betting. Or they're thinking about folding, and they did 4-bet. I don't think they have aces, because I have the ace blocker. But they probably have a good rundown. I'm going to call them, and we're going to see what happens. That's not a good flop for us. That's pretty fucking bad. We don't have any equity there. Well, a jack brings us a straight, but those clubs suck. The 4 sucks. The 9 sucks. We're gonna check it. If they bet, if they have to go all in here, and we can't call it. We just don't have enough equity. So that sucks. We torched our shit to a 3-bet. They had a bad hand. That's a bad 4-bet. Absolute trash. 4-bet bluffed me. All right. That was an absolute trash hand. What did they all? They had like 3 hearts and 2 5s and an ace. Ugh. Unacceptable. They had ace 10 5 5. That's a very bad hand. That's not a 4-betting bluffing hand even. It's just not. It's just a bad hand to 4-bet with. So they blew me off, and then they blew me off by betting. I mean, they didn't have any choice. We just didn't have any equity. Like, shit. I mean, we were right to call them. We just got a bad flop. But, like, oh my God. I mean, we're going to have to call them now. Well, now they're not weak anymore. Now they're actually bluffing. So now we have to adjust our strategy a little bit. We have to take them a little more seriously. We'll be betting that. This we will call a 4-bet. Probably shouldn't. Yeah, now I know I was right to call that 4-bet. Alrighty. Do you like it? What do you like, seat 2? I'm gonna go ahead and bet it. I'm gonna bet the pot. I don't want those hearts to come. I've got aces. I've got ace king. What do you have? Not enough. There's ace king again with a queen. The queen's suited, but it's bad. But we're in the big blind, so we're going to be calling. We'll be calling. I don't think we're going to... Oh, we have... I'm not going to raise it. I'm just going to check it down. Oh, that's great for us. We didn't hit anything. We hit a 7, but... Well, that looks better than it is. I gotta say we have some backdoor flush equity. We now have 2 pair. It's not top two. It's top and bottom, but it's still probably pretty good. There's a lot. They don't have anything. I'm gonna bet half. I'm gonna bet the pot. It's 3 big blinds. Someone's probably gonna call me. I'm probably gonna get 1 call, maybe 2. That's okay. We've got 2 pair. We're all right. We have some equity. We could hit. That counterfeit our hand. That sucks. We still have the king. We still have the king though. So ace jack beats us. 8-10 beats us. And any set beats us. Any 9 beats us. 9, a full house definitely beats us. So there's a lot that can beat us here. So we're not going to be betting, but we're going to be checking this. See, they're going to check. We're going to put on Hollywood about it, but we're definitely checking, and we probably won't call a bet from seat 1. Because we just generally don't. We just don't have the equity. Like I said, the 9 really counterfeit our hand because now our 7s don't play. We have aces and 9s with the king. So we're going to check that. And they have the 9. They checked the 9. What the fuck? What game are these people playing? I have no idea. Why did you check that 9 on the river? I think they thought someone was going to bluff into them. Like, I don't understand your gameplay. What are you doing, 49.4 big blinds? Pot that shit. You had the 9. Goofball. This is a bad hand, and I brought it in. I have no idea what this player is doing. Like like it's impossible to read them. They're just rando. They're a rando maniac. In fact, I'm gonna give them a fish. Rando maniac. I just have to play equity against them. That's it. Um, I'm gonna check it. I don't have any equity. Got a pair of 6s and not much else going on. And then over ace. So we'll see. I don't have anything really that can come. That king didn't help, but it certainly made my hand worse. Oh no, I now have a gut shot with the queen. The queen gives me a straight, the nut straight, but not if it's a queen of diamonds. So there's really only 3 queens that can help me. So it's not a good hand. I don't think my 6 is good. I can't call a bet. Let's check it down. Let's see if my 6 holds. Nope. They had a pair of jacks. Honestly, I don't know if they played that the right way. I don't know that I would have done much different. I know I would have done different. I would have been more aggressive than they were. It's just impossible to read these players. Like I can't get a read on them, like, because I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna bet me. They're gonna 4-bet me with ace, 5, 5, 10, and 3 hearts, and then they're gonna like not bet like a set of 9s. Like, it's like I don't understand on the river. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going through your mind? I have no idea. It's just pure gambling. This is some like weird fish thing that I don't understand at all. There doesn't seem to be any real strategy here. Like, they're just playing by pure gut feeling, by the vibes they're getting through their Wi-Fi connection. Like, I don't understand. Maybe there's maybe they're like outclassing me in a way that I just can't wrap my brain around. Maybe that's what it is. I mean, we're up, but we're not up very much anymore. And we punted off about 35 big blinds in the last like 15 minutes. Making so this is bad. But we're 3-handed. We're short-handed. I'm just gonna carry on. Bet my equity. I don't feel like I'm playing bad poker. I don't feel like I'm making any egregious mistakes, but like maybe I am. Maybe I'm a bad poker player. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like it. I don't feel tardy. Damn it, says Alexis. What are you upset about there? What's that? What's that about? Me being quiet? Me being hungover without having drank? Excuse me. I think I got a touch of the winters. Also, Steam had a sale on Cyberpunk. I did get Cyberpunk, so I'm gonna play Cyberpunk the rest of the night. After this, I'm gonna play a bunch of Cyberpunk. So I don't know. I think I've talked about this on the show before, but I had Cyberpunk when it came out, and they've improved it a lot since then. They fixed a lot of things in the 4 years it's been out. But I rage quit that game 3 times, all for the same reason every time. And it was because I got to a point where there's this character that you play with, this girl named Pan Am. That's an NPC that like you make friends with out in the desert. And like she's super hot. She's got just the tightest ass you've ever seen in a video game, and she's just like smoking hot, and she's super sexy, and she's got real dykey vibes. And like but the game made her straight, and so she wouldn't have sex with me, and I just got so mad every time that I rage quit, all at the same spots. Like, why won't you let Pan Am? Why won't you let me fuck Pan Am? And like, I just got so mad that I just rage quit 3 times, all in the same spot. So I'm gonna see if I can get past that this time. Realize that Pan Am will not have sex with me, and just be bummed about it. I'm still gonna hit on her. Woo, that's nice. That's okay. It's rainbow. It looks nicer than it is. Rainbow aces are still good. The king and a three's not bad with an ace, but like it's not a. This isn't a. This is a very good hand, but it's definitely not premium aces. Not premium, but definitely good enough to like 4-bet, especially here 3-way with these players. They will call this time, won't they? Won't you, fishy? Won't you, weird fish who just doing random stuff? Can't put you on fucking anything. And they just gotta outplay you when you show up with your peanut butter and jelly sandwich at the river. What do you what did you do? Ah, yeah. Yeah, suited ace of the queen is good enough to bet in the on the button. Are you gonna play this time? We gotta think about it. You gonna let this clock wind down to 0 and then fold out again? Oh, what are you doing, seat 2, you goofball? I wish my notes would stick. Oh my goodness. I gotta not get it cocky. I gotta not get cocky. It's my problem. I'm getting impatient and cocky with these goofballs. At least seat 5 is playing solid poker. They're a little tight, but they're not making ridiculous moves. So the nit brought out. So we have to be cautious of that, and we're going to be out of position, but we have to play it because of our hand. So that's very good for us. We have a straight draw, a very good flush draw, and top pair. So we're going to raise this. I'm going to raise this to 7. We're going to see what seat 5 does. If they're going to play along here. I like this hand. I like my equity here. We have very good equity. Jack Queen is in play. They may have Jack Queen, but it doesn't matter. We're going to put them all in. They do have Jack Queen, and they just hit everything. They hit their straight. We had too much equity to fold that. We just did. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. We should have called. We didn't need to put them all in. We should have just called. That would have been the right move. So the mistake that I made was I pushed them all in instead of knowing that they were going to call. There was no reason for me to do that. I was on a draw. I should have just called. Good enough to defend, for sure. Not to a 3-bet. Very good for us. Nowhere near our range. All we've got is backdoor flush equity with that spade, and nah. Oh, we do have the 8 blocker, but like we just don't have anything. We'll wait. We'll wait for a better hand to play to push back. Don't think this will be it. I'm not gonna fold out of turn just yet. I'm gonna fold now to a limp. Jesus, limping. Now I just want to get back to even. And remember, I bought in. So like I'm down about 140 big blinds, 135 maybe. 135, 140 big blinds. No, not that much. More. Well, down. Let's see. So I'm down about 30.4 here, and then another 35. So, but I'm down about 60, 65, 70 big blinds. Not a whole bullet, but I'd rather not be down at all. But I am going to have to take my break pretty soon, go to the bathroom, get some water. I don't like to leave so much. Let's raise. I'm in position. That's nice. We're going to put on some Hollywood here, and then we're going to bet. We're going to bet half pot. See if they'll call this one. They did. That's great. We now have a full house, so we pretty much can't lose. I don't put them on 9s. I don't put them on 2 3s. So once again, I'm going to bet this half pot. We have to put money in the pot. They might still chase, they might not. I don't know if that 3 scares them. I don't know what it's going to do. If they raise us, we have to then consider. They didn't raise. So I don't think they have us beat. I think they were on a flush draw, but they could be on a straight draw. And so what we're doing is we're hoping that they hit their straight and that they're going to call us. So we're going to bet the pot. Targeting the straight. I would have rather seen a spade come. That would have been great. And they're not gonna bet. They're not gonna call, but we had to target it with the big bet. And we're crawling our way out of the gutter. Okay, Charlotte, tell Emily good morning. I'm gonna just call with my king ace. They're not suited. I don't have anything here. This looks like it's a viable hand, but really I've just missed this board entirely. So I'm just gonna leave it. It looks like I've got something, but I really don't. Like, that's pretty much it. You really can't miss a board much harder than that. I'll bet kings. They're weak kings, but I'll bet them. Super weak kings. About as weak as kings get. The only thing that could have made it weaker is if this is an offsuit 7. And so, we do have a gut shot straight draw. We have a heart blocker. We're out of position, so we'll check it. And we do have kings. So we're going to call. We hit our straight, but we have the low end of it. And now the flush came, but we have the blocker, and they bet it. And this nits aren't betting flush draws, but they could have a jack with a heart. So we're gonna bet small. We're gonna bet about a third pot here. We're just gonna see what we can get. Right, we hit the pot. That's what we get. So you got a new player here that bought in for 79 big blinds. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a weird size, but they could have come from another table, but I don't think so because but they might have been at another table that closed. But because otherwise 79 big blinds is a really weird amount to buy in for. This hand isn't good. No, it's not good enough to bring in. We're playing a little loose. Would have been great. Well, nah, would have been okay. We would have had equity on the button. That would have been a good card for us. We're not playing it. Seat 1 likes donking light. They donking their flush draw? Or are they afraid of the flush? They're afraid of it. Yeah, they're donking their bad ace. That's what they're doing. They have ace X. Nope. 9s and 8s. Still, if they were betting their middle pair with a straight draw? Yeah. Middle pair with a straight draw is what they were betting. That's what they were donking. So it's okay. It's alright. It's not the worst. They won still. They hit that second pair. It saved them. So they were semi-bluffing. Let's make a mental note of it. Seat 1 is a little bit aggressive. Just a little bit. Not too much. But their small bet size is an indicator of the quality of their hand. So we should note their bet size. Yeah, we'll check. We'll free roll this garbage hand. And we're gonna bet this because it's just such a no, no. That was a try. We do have carts. Yeah, now we're gonna get out of here. I was betting it to see if we can push them off and scare them on a scare board, but it didn't work at all. We're heads up with this player now. Great. Now we can get a lot looser and a lot more aggressive here. And they're going to get more aggressive. So maybe I underestimated them. Maybe they're actually a good player. Anyway, we've got jacks here. And they're going to bet big. Do we have any? We have a straight. A 10 brings us a straight. We've got jack, king, queen. 8 doesn't do anything for us. And ace doesn't do anything for us. The only card that can bring us anything is a 10. We got to fold it. We did have back at door equity with that queen. And I maybe should have called it for the equity. But no. I think I can handle this player heads up. We'll see. We'll see. Now they're showing aggression all of a sudden. So this is bad. We'll let it go. Let's see how this goes. It's going to move quickly at least. I like heads up play. I got good at it. That's definitely a good hand. They'll call it. Yeah, we hit a monster there. This hand is so hit. We're going to bet it anyway because we don't like those clubs. They're going to call. The clubs came, so we have to check it. We also have to call it. So much came. We're going to call. Okay, we have to call. Yeah, so much came. So much could have came that beat us, and they had it. But we had to call because we had a set of 10s. Yeah. We'll play that. Regrettably, didn't work out. Fast moving, heads up, play. I have to give a little props. This player's playing well. Playing well, heads up. Yeah, we'll raise that. We'll raise that suited king up. I can't call a 3-bet though. Can't call a 3-bet. We will defend. We'll check raise. Got it. They're not going to call. Oh, they did. That's nice. Okay, they're going to call us. So they're going to call us light. Good to know. So back to just betting with equity. Yeah, that's equity. That's equity for sure. Woof. Woof. We can't call any bet they make. We can't call it. That could easily be a bluff, but we just can't call it. There's just so many straights out there. Calling it. 2, huh? It's a check raise. It's a bet. They could easily have hearts. But they don't. I should have bet I had the ace. They're calling us light. So we were out of position. It's okay. Checking and winning at showdown is okay. That's not great. Check that. What have the ace? Let's see what they do. This is good poker here. They're playing well now. I'm gonna get rid of their fish. Solid heads up player. I call them a fish maniac. They were just playing good poker. Ugh, that's a terrible hand. Maybe they are still a bit of a maniac, but like they're playing well heads up. Yep, playing it. They are calling a lot though. They're not playing great. They're playing weirdly good poker. Sure. Pot size bet. I could easily have a 10 jack. We got a. If they do, they win. Yeah, it's not great, but it's heads up. And it's a suited ace, even though we block our own suit. We do hit kings and eights. About half pot. Good enough. We called with no equity at all. An ace, I guess. That was good enough for them. Pair fours. Hot stuff. They would have bet with a queen. We'll check our fours back. Could spike something. We don't. We got queens and fours with a 10. It's not good enough. Yeah, 4 queens. Had us murdered. Yeah. Rundown's good. Yeah, cool. Yep. Yeah, we're going to be betting you. We're going to blast this one. God damn it, we have the straight. How big are they going to bet? They're going to bet. Do they have hearts? We have a heart blocker. We're going to check it. We have the straight. I'm going to have... If I bet and they raise, I'm fucked. So I'm checking it, and I'm going to take down 33, and it's 0.6 big blinds. Because if they had the flush and they re-raised, we would have just been toast. Then the worst thing that could have happened. So yeah, so we didn't torch our equity. We won a good sized pot. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I was. It's a terrible hand, but here we go. We hit our fives. Bring it, baby. We also have a good solid wheel draw. Oh, that's not great. That's enough to call. Fives and twos is enough to raise. Check raise. Here's your flush. Raise me. Ace king double suited. Calling you, baby. That's good for me. That's a big fat check raise. How did they win that? Ah, they had the straight. Well, they beat us fair and square. It was good poker. It was fun. But I'm thirsty. I'm not feeling great. And I just ate shit. That was good poker there at the end. That player, I was wrong. They weren't a fish. They were pretty good. And they beat us solidly. I don't regret that last hand. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to share this with you. I don't know how I can do it. I'm going to try and do it in a way. Give me a minute. I'm gonna duplicate something. We're gonna go over that hand. We're gonna call this. Bear with me. I'm doing a little OBS work here, so we're gonna do hand review. We're gonna call that. We're gonna do that here, and we're gonna make this thing, and we're gonna put it on the top. There we are. We want that over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring me where's zoom lavalier. Okay, once again, bear with me here. There it is. That's locked. That needs to come down here. Put me in the lower corner here. We're gonna look at the hand. I think we can make this bigger. It's hard to do. Working on it. I'm working on it. There we go. You can kind of see it there. And I am actually doing something. I know it's a little tedious. Thanks for your patience. Oh, wait. Got it all wrong. I'm doing this all wrong. There we go. I can see that a little better. I don't have much to work with here. I don't have much space. That's enough to see. So let's make Let me go over here. Okay, so bear with it. I'll fix it later, but for now, I'm gonna give you this, and I'm gonna show you what they had. So basically, I'm gonna explain this hand before I head out for the day. So what happened was, here was the flop. We bet there was I believe there was a 4-bet or a 3-bet. So I was the small blind and they were the dealers. So like I raised with my ace 4 king 6 double suited, ace king double suited. They re-raised me. And so they 3-bet ace 2 8 7, a double suited hand. So they're 3-betting very wide. It's still a double suit. It's still a double suit, which is so they are a decent poker player, is what they are. And so the flop came 10 4 6, 2 hearts. We had king hearts. They had 2 and a 7, and they also had 4 6, a bad straight draw. So they were just playing super loose. We raised them big. They went in and we just went all in, and they caught their 5. And that's all that happened there. I had them murdered, but that's how it works. And that's poker. That's how it goes sometimes. So they were calling us loose. Wait a minute. That's supposed to go back up. Shoot. Anyway, I lost it. But thanks for coming. Lovely to see you. Hopefully we do better next week. Hopefully I do better next time I play, which will be tonight. So yeah, we'll see you next week, and take care. Love y'all. blah blah.